Welcome to the WRAL Daily Download. I'm Julian Grace, and today's deep dive conversation is with WRAL reporter Brett Knese. He's here to talk about the search for 9-year-old Bentley Stancil. On Tuesday morning, Bentley never got on his school bus. Instead, he ditched his backpack, and someone later saw him running into a wooded area near his home. After more than 24 hours of intense searching, investigators found Bentley in the woods outside near a camper. Brett, walk us through the moment when searchers found Bentley.
Yeah, Julian, I was there as that happened. Sky 5 was above it and captured those moments. It was incredible to see when he was surrounded by all these search and rescue teams from the sheriff's office, from Wendell Police, Wendell Fire, and the moment that he sees his father is a moment that stands out for a lot of people. I mean, it is emotional, it's incredible, and I got to see it with my own eyes. I was fortunate enough to be right there as that happened, and you see him, as soon as he sees his father, just jump as high as he could up in the air and make a beeline straight for Brandon, his father, and they just hugged it out, and it was really cool to see. I mean, this is the best ending we could possibly have in a story that isn't necessarily an original story, right? Children unfortunately go missing a lot. Amber Alerts are put out a lot, and unfortunately this story does not end with this outcome often enough. And today we got the best possible outcome.
Let's talk about Bentley's dad. You spoke with him. What did he have to say?
After they hugged it out, they took Bentley over to a squad car or an unmarked police car of some sort to take him to the Wendell Fire Department. That's where they were going to check him out with. They had an EMS crew staged there so that they could make sure that his vitals were good and everything checked out. And after that happened, I grabbed Brandon and I just started asking him, "What are you feeling right now? How have the last 24 hours played out for you as a father?" Because, put yourself in Brandon's shoes. Regardless of any of the other circumstances, this is his 9-year-old son. And his 9-year-old was missing. And Brandon said that moment when he got to hug Bentley is the best moment of his life. It said he felt like he was seeing Bentley for the first time again. So that was incredibly emotional. And then he went and talked about the show of support that he got from this community, which was impressive. It felt like everybody in Wendell was out searching for Bentley, and being here and seeing that search unfold, it truly looked like it too.
Let's stay on that search. How massive was this search?
Okay, so this was about a 2-mile search area in Wendell, 2 miles from where his bus stop is located to where he was found. But the search area itself really focused in on a couple of locations. One was the Hardee's, and 2 was the Exxon gas station. They're all on Wendell Boulevard, and they are just a quarter mile from where Bentley was found at this camper. This camper just sits down the road. I mean, a 10-minute walk maybe to those 2 locations where he was last seen. They had surveillance video of him going into this gas station. I talked to the clerks. They remember him very clearly coming in, asking for something, and they said, well, you can't. They weren't sure what he was asking for, and they said that he needed his parents, and that made him bolt out the door. And so then from there is when that search really intensified on this wooded area nearby, right behind the Hardee's and this Exxon gas station. And they were out there searching for hours, overnight, all morning, different volunteer search teams, organized search teams with law enforcement agencies. And then even this morning, they brought out the chopper to fly very low over the top of the tree line and search this at least quarter-mile radius that they were really honed in on, that they were really believing that that's where he was, and it ended up that he was at that camper.
It was pretty cold. How did Bentley survive in that?
It turns out Bentley was quite resourceful. Parents were pretty proud of this, and how it's amazing. I mean, how couldn't you be proud of the fact that he found shelter? He found that camper that is sitting here off Marshburn Road, just a short walk from that gas station, from that Hardee's. Somehow he got inside. I spoke with the owners of it, and they said it was supposed to be locked. So fortune was in his favor. It was not. He got in. There was power hooked up to it. Somehow he got that going so that it was warm. And even more resourceful, he found some food inside, and either heated it up or somehow found food that was consumable, and he was able to eat a little bit of something too, which really helped him get through the night, having that camper and all the resources inside of it that he made quite use of.
Did his parents say where he received that type of instinct from to survive by himself in the cold?
Yeah, I believe they said they gave him some sort of book, or he found some sort of book, and he was very, very into that kind of thing, surviving in maybe cold temperatures. He knew what hypothermia was, and knew that could set in, and set in quickly. So he was very, for 9 years old, he was very smart to make sure that didn't happen and that he was somewhere safe.
We're going to take a break right here. When we come back after the break, why investigators did not believe Bentley was abducted. Welcome back to the WRAL Daily Download. I'm talking with WRAL reporter Brett Knese on the safe return of a 9-year-old Wendell boy found safe after missing for 24 hours. Brett, Wake County Sheriff Gerald Baker seemed confident from the start that Bentley wasn't abducted, yet he still issued an Amber Alert. Why?
Yeah, Julian, it's an odd thing to do, considering an Amber Alert. The criteria for that typically is someone is believed to have been abducted. A child is believed to be with someone they're not, right? That's when we see those Amber Alerts go out, there's usually a description of the child, of course, but then there's a description of the car they were placed in and possibly someone they were with or abducted by. What we got with last night's Amber Alert was the description of Bentley, but there was no car description. There was no description of someone that may have taken him. Sheriff Baker talked about that today, and he said that he wanted to use an Amber Alert because that goes to everybody's phones. That gets the message out quickly that someone's missing. So it is odd, it is unusual, and it is different, but that tactic was able to get that message across quickly to as many people in the area as possible, and that got people looking. Because when you're out here in a town like Wendell, everybody knows everybody. And I spoke with a lot of people that were searching. When they got that Amber Alert, they know who Bentley was. They knew who this family was, the Stancils, and anyone related to them. And they knew, okay, we need to find Bentley. He has those red frame glasses, right? That was the big descriptor that really pointed out who Bentley was and what he was wearing. But those red frame glasses, that's what everyone was really searching for once that Amber Alert went out. And to Sheriff Baker's credit, it worked. It got a lot of people invested quickly into this missing child.
Brett, I was out there and I saw the large crowds of people just walking through the wooded area there. How was Bentley able to stay hidden for 24 hours, though?
You know, that's a question that we're still asking and we're still trying to figure out. I think that camper, it'll be interesting to find out, when did he get in that camper? What time frame did he get inside that? And how did he avoid all these people? We do know that he was scared. Of course, he was scared. He's 9 years old, and he hears these helicopters flying over, and they're flying low and they're loud, right? So that can even jolt someone more, and it can keep someone hiding even more. And that's what appears to have happened with Bentley. It appears that he was just so scared of what had happened, how he had gotten to where he had gotten, and he's a resourceful kid. He found a camper and found shelter to stay warm. He was able to stay and hidden as well.
This question a lot of people are asking: why did Bentley run away from home? Do we have that answer, or what did Bentley's dad say?
I asked him that shortly after we talked to him, or shortly after he reunited with Bentley, and I said, "Is there any indication on how this could have happened?" And he said at the time, Brandon, his father, said there is no clear-cut answer right now. He thinks that because he's 9 and he maybe thought he was going to be in trouble if he did come home, that's why he stayed away. But there are a lot of questions there, right? What is going on in this 9-year-old's life that would make him want to flee home and not get on that school bus? I think that is the next part of this story that we're going to continue digging in on and trying to find out, why would a 9-year-old not step on that school bus on a Tuesday morning and run away and then stay hidden for so long?
So still a lot of questions out there.
Absolutely.
Last question for you, Brett. You saw the faces on the investigators, family members, friends, searchers. How would you describe their facial expressions once Bentley was found?
The relief, you can't even describe it. The relief on everyone's face was, there's pure joy. This, again, going back to what I talked about at the beginning of this podcast, these stories don't end well often enough. And it's unfortunate, but that's the reality. And as time ticks away, especially after we get past that first 24-hour mark, that is a mark for law enforcement and for these search teams. That first 24 hours is crucial because after that, anything can happen. And once we got past that mark, you could tell that the intensity picked up. Speaking with some people that were searching, but then getting to tell them, I actually was talking to a woman. I interviewed her before he was found, and then I got to see her again afterwards. The relief that has swept over her, the joy that he was found and back with his parents, with his family, his sisters. I got to tell his sisters that, yeah, they found him. They're right over there. And they sprinted right to him, hugged him, and held him close. And it's just, it's like I said, it's the culmination of a lot of awful emotions, but it all equals good because we got the best possible outcome. Bentley was found. He is safe and sound, and he's back where he belongs.
Brett, thank you for your time. We appreciate you and your insight that you gave us on this such difficult story, but had a great ending. Thanks for your time, Brett. And thanks for listening to the WRAL Daily Download. You can also listen to entire WRAL newscasts in podcast form. Find WRAL Newscast in your podcast app. The feed is updated with new newscasts multiple times per day.